Well, commiserations, Garry.
Yeah.
A very difficult and embarrassing afternoon, really, out there.
Very embarrassing, John. Very embarrassing. From the manager's point of view, all we can do is apologise. I can, because I know I mean it. For me and Steve Thompson, in respect of the management team, all we can do is apologise to those supporters as a management team. I can't speak for players, John. It's not my job to speak for players. But as a management team, I think that they've known in the time that we've been at the football club that we try and be honest, we try and work hard. We ask our supporters to travel, even though it's not far. You fetch 600 travelling fans, pay their money, and they see the team go out on the park and basically roll over, John, in the first 20 minutes, where we come in at half-time absolutely embarrassed. They were popping the ball off. We haven't helped in respect of the first goal in any way or form. Brandon also has done a lot better with that. That's not good enough. And the marking and the defending, one as a defence and two as a responsibility for your defenders, that didn't have to work for the goals. And at the end of the day, it was a day for Scott Rendell, where he's rightly so enjoyed it. But you know, I think we all know that you would never turn around and say Scott is the quickest player in respect of mobility, but in the mind and getting away from defenders and getting into areas as easy as he did, he must have been laughing all the way, all day long. And at the end of the day, if you're a defender and you try to defend against that situation and position today out there, I would class it as a very, very sad, embarrassing day as a player for Woking Football Club.
And Garry, things seemed to go wrong. Once Brandon had dropped that ball and Aldershot got their noses ahead, if you like, heads seemed to drop and we never got going at all.
Well, John, at the end of the day, you know, you can, I'm more than happy at any time to stand up and try and be honest and take a responsibility, which you have to as a manager. You know, you have to as a manager. But, you know, the preparation's been right. There was not any problem for us today in respect of our team selection. We've got players who are low on confidence, and we've got players who ain't good enough or ain't consistent enough, and that's where we are, John. You know, and we know that, and you know, I think that supporters know that deep down, one way or another. And we're halfway through the season. You know, we've got 21 games to go in the league. We've got to get 8 wins. No secret about it. We've got 8 wins to get out of 21, and we've got to work very, very hard. We've got to work very, very hard in the January window. Players have got to go. You know, we've got to release players. There's no secret about it. We've either got to get players out to get players in as well. There's got to be a change because, you know, where we are at the minute, John, with that type of performance, we're going one way. And I don't say that with any aptness, only with honesty on the grounds that we've had 5 or 6 wonderful years. We've always found it, you know, tough in one way, but defied against the odds and got higher and done better than what we should have done. And this is a year where it's caught up with us a little bit, or say a little bit, a lot as a football club, in every way or form. And you know, as much as you can turn around and take the accolades over the last 4 or 5 years of saying that, you know, we're in the Conference League, punching above our weight where we're finishing against so many other clubs, this is a year now which we all know, and we've got to make sure, which I know has happened in the past, which I don't say with any pleasure at Woking, but we've got to battle ever so hard to make sure that we finish outside that bottom 4, and hopefully as a football club, for on the pitch and off the pitch going forward, that there comes a certain amount of freshness, which is the most important thing for Woking.
And does today's performance, Garry, change the way you prepare for the next game on New Year's Day?
In respect of, no, we're training and we're going through things. We'll have the agony of watching the DVD, hopefully, which we've got to do. And at the end of the day, as I say, I hope the supporters really, really, you know, get something to cheer about on New Year's Day in respect of effort more than anything. John, we've rolled over, mate. We've rolled over. And how can I be having any pleasure of saying that as a manager of the football club, and I manage them players, that we went 1-0 down and 2-0 down, and all of a sudden, as you quite rightly said earlier, that it looked like a team which was there basically saying, no, we've just got to see the rest of this game out. You know, I know people can turn around and say to you in the second half, well, you know, at least there was no more goals scored. They say, hey, did they come off the throttle? Did we get better? John, at the end of the day, you know, as a team today, it doesn't matter what formation you play with players. At the end of the day, if players can't concentrate or players can't take the responsibility of doing the basics properly, you have to face the consequences. And so I don't have no pleasure in coming out here after and talking about the players or talking about a performance like that. But I've got to do that. I'm gutted. I'm gutted for the supporters of this football club today, because how can players, and I know they were ashamed, and they should do, walk in that direction and turn around and think to themselves at the end of the day, the supporters are pleased with my performance. Club work hard, John, they try hard, and as I say, it's a day today where, you know, it'd be nice to see a contribution from players. I'll tell you what, if I go and ask them, it'd be interesting to see how many you want to put in the pot, you know, towards the supporters travelling here.
Lovely, thank you very much, Gary. Safe journey home.
Cheers.